my teammate ends up grabbing a second base that happens to be the enemy's base location. And meanwhile, I'm going to be starting off with at least a chopper to be somewhat aggressive to take the economy stuff on the right side of the map. And so, how does that play out? Will we even be able to take that left-hand side? Am I even going to be involved in that battle whatsoever? These are some great questions that we are going to go ahead and try to answer today. So, grunts are immediately being sent over to that right-hand side to go over that supply and power. We are going against a Forge, an Arbiter, and an Atriox. The Forge is red, and Atriox and Arbiter is going to be on the opposite side. And so we're going to start off with double supply and a gen with this build order. Our grunt has arrived to start getting the supplies, and then we just found ourselves a Jackrabbit. Now we got ourselves a little Jackrabbit battle going on, and now a Ghost has shown up as well, and it's already ramming my chopper, so we're already getting action right away. The chopper is trying to focus down on the Jackrabbit first. We're going to make a Skitter, which is going to be very nice. But now we got to find a way to go ahead and engage this Ghost in a way that we're going to be ahead. Right now the Ghost is slightly ahead from I am. I am microing it back and forth to try and dodge the little beams that are being shot out. And right now it's like who rams who first will be the winner of this situation. And so right now I'm still trying to go ahead and just keep the damage going and get the ram off. And I just killed a Jackrabbit and a Ghost with just one grunt and one chopper. And so that's a huge victory in itself. We did make ourselves a second chopper to go ahead and send it over there just to be sure that no one else is trying to send anything else, because this chopper, honestly, I don't think it's supposed to be alive, but it is. And so now we're going to start transitioning over to some Jackrabbits. I don't know why I said Jackrabbits, some Skitters. And now we're going to start transitioning to the next phase of our build order. Meanwhile, there's nothing really crazy going on besides that simple engagement that we saw right there. And so now we're going to just start working towards Tech 2 and grab that mini when we can, and see if we can continue to grab some supplies around the map, keep making some choppers because that's never a bad thing, and make those Skitters as well. Wonder if I'm going to go Vehicle Symbiosis or not, because Vehicle Symbiosis is a pretty strong leader ability in my opinion, but you are exchanging Engineering Swarm, which is the one that provides mass heals, so it is a give and take, so we'll see. But for now, we're gonna send our choppers to go ahead and scout the enemy and see what they got going on. Skitter production is still continuing quite nicely. We are going to get Engineering Swarm, and here comes our first scout. Our grunt is going to also start getting ready to try and reinforce on that power node, with Arbiter dropping the stasis mine near that power node. So now we have a chopper that's supposed to be scouting, but instead it's engaging a leader as we speak. The only reason why I know this is because I'm paying attention to the mini-map. And there you have it. Their Forge is out and about. We weren't able to scout, which is really unfortunate. And now we're going to go Apex, which means we're going Engineer Skitters, so we can go ahead and keep the pressure going. What pressure, you may say? Not my side of the lane, their side of the lane. And so now I'm just going to be sitting pretty. We are getting ourselves a decent amount of economy going. We're going to keep making some grunts. We got some choppers that's going to go ahead and start showing up, as well as some engineers now. So let's see how it turns out. We do have some infantry battle that's trying to go after those ghosts that we saw going on there. Second base is going to go ahead and be established at mid by our cutter. And now I'm going to go ahead and work on grabbing my second base myself. Even though I don't really have much, if that Forge Hog showed up, it's going to be a problem. But their Forge Hog is actually down there, and so we already have two leaders that have shown up to go ahead and take that engagement, while Yellow continues to work on that middle node to capture it. So they are doing great node wise, which is something that is not really something you want to see, but it is what it is. But Light Blue is pinging the enemy's base, so it looks like he's going to go ahead and try and take it, as what I mentioned earlier in this video. And I do have a little bit of unit Skitters to help defend the high ground if they choose to get it. And so now I'm going to go ahead and see if a second base is being established by red. And here we go. We do have ourselves a second base. But now we're going to just retreat the units that we have. And I accidentally did all units while my units were at the teleporter, which means I'm going to start losing all my Skitters and my whole army that's going to be set up over there. Did not know I did such a thing until right now watching this replay in itself. And so there we go, all skitters are gone. Not a good start for me. That's quite embarrassing, but you know what? It is what it is. And so we're going to go ahead and make that supply pad, make that war console to get our hero out. And Light Blue is going to go ahead and start establishing a second base in that location. Now, this kind of works out because since I am trying to establish something on this right hand side, I'll be able to use a teleporter if need be. But if their distraction goes well, that means I should be able to go ahead and punish Red if he tries to help his teammates out over there. And so I'm going to go ahead and save my point until it's ready to be used. We're going to make some Reavers. Definitely would have loved all those Skitterers sooner, but it just never happened. And here we go. We got ourselves a pretty tough spot. I'm going to try and use a Hunter Brands here. Hunter Brand is kind of going to whiff. Stasis Mine comes down, or no, Plasma Bolt came down. And so now they're kind of by themselves over there with that hero. But it is trying to last as long as it can. I do have Engineering Swarm if they need it. So I'm going to keep monitoring that situation as a whole. And honestly, what? 5 engineers with no skitters attached to it, it's not looking too hot. We do have some heals coming down, and Engineering Swarm is going to come in to keep that leader alive. So hopefully we'll be able to. And we do have some reinforcements that are going to start streamlining over. Because Red is over there helping out. And it does look like, oh, a huge scatter bomb is coming down. But everything is still alive, fortunately. So now I'm going to start making some locusts to get the building base damage going. And they were able to hold off that left lane tremendously. The Engineering Swarm definitely helped out. The leader would have been eliminated otherwise. But hey, pure props to my teammates there, holding that lane entirely. And so now I'm going to start making some Marauders and keep trying to send some reinforcements over. They do have an air pad, but that air pad is not really going to result to anything just because of the fact that we have ourselves some Reavers sitting right in front of the base. And so definitely Colony Drop would have been the better option here, but it is what it is. A second Nightingale, first Nightingale comes out, but we do have Reavers that's immediately going to shut that down. Any air units that comes out will be destroyed in my eyes. And so now we're working towards upgrading that building, and we're going to keep on sending that reinforcements as a whole. All in all, things are looking relatively well, but there is another big engagement that's going to be happening on that left hand side. But right now we're just focused on this weird one-on-one situation that we have on my side, and Red felt incredibly confident such that they were going to go ahead and get their base upgraded to start getting turrets on that base. Now the question is, I thought I made a Locust about 8 years ago. Why isn't that Locust there? I have no idea. And so leader is still on his way, and with 1 chopper and 2 Reavers, we're still trying to do some sort of work. But now all of a sudden we have ourselves a very tough spot, which is siege that's already happening. And so we're going to get our upgrade for a colony, which is going to be very nice, but we're going to start losing units if we don't do much about this. So unfortunately their hero is out, and my hero is out myself, so I just need to find a way to just keep doing some damage here on the enemy. But right now it's kind of like a weird situation as a whole. Engineers are going to heal my leader, which will be pretty nice. Nightingales are going to make sure to shut down the Wolverines if possible. But now the engineers are getting hit by the anti-infantry turret, which is going to be quite unfortunate. So we're going to go ahead and try and focus down and scare away the leader if possible. And we're going to start trying to retreat our engineers because we don't want them to get eliminated. So an Engineering Swarm is coming down, but we've already lost almost all our engineers as a whole. And so we do have some sort of push going, but it's nothing really too crazy. The base is still being focused down while we keep going back and forth. Hunter Brand is going to come down, and it's almost going to get rid of the leader, and Cutter calling their carpet bomb was the icing on the cake in getting rid of that. And we're able to get rid of the hero as well. So we have quite a little bit of action happening on this right side, but there's so much action happening on the left side that unfortunately we won't be able to see much of it, which is very disappointing. But it's pretty cool with the fact that if you just pay attention to the minimap on its own, it's telling its own story. It has its own chapters. And so if you are one of those people that also like to look at that minimap and just stare and see what's going on around there while listening to this commentary, then hey, you're going to enjoy the benefits of this video here. If not, hey, at least you got some good one-on-one action between myself and Red. And so now I'm going to start transitioning over to mid. I noticed that yellow and orange have been doing a great job on that side of the field, and what I mean by they are doing a great job, I meant my teammate light blue and dark blue. And so now I want to start relieving that pressure as a whole and see if I can go ahead and pressure mid. Since red is on one base now, I feel confident about it. But seeing everything that's over there right now, Serena has so much siege that's going on that side of the lane that I don't think anything on the ground will be able to be successful in any type of way. And so Wolverines are trying to show up now to try and deal with what air units I have, which honestly isn't much. But because there's some hunters, I'm going to go ahead and start retreating just a little bit. We are going to focus down on the Arbiter. The Shroud pops to keep my army still alive and invisible. That's a very nice thing to see. And the Arbiter is going to be taken care of because the sniper showed up at the beautiful moment. And so now we're just trying to hold this lane to the best of our ability. But with what they have, this is something that we won't be able to do much with. And so light blue is going to keep their pressure up that he's got going on with the siege on that side. We're going to get vehicle level 2. And we're just going to keep going back and forth. As I said, this is not really something where I can take a huge engagement with, but we can take an engagement nevertheless. Our hunter colony is looking pretty good. We have a bunch of shrouds in case something shows up in the sky. And now we're going to try and put the nail in the coffin while getting the base defense up, just to make sure that nothing comes around. And so I'm going to start transitioning over to red. But there you go. Look at all the siege, all the garages that our teammate over here has, using Ice Serena Siege, which is going to be such a hard thing to take out. Don't know why I'm putting some Banshees in this army, but I am. And reinforcement upgrade is going to go ahead and come in as well. And so we're going to try and do one big push to knock out red if possible, because we were able to take out some Wolverines. And now it's just going to be about how we micro this army, and if we can get it in a position such that they're going to be surprised. And speaking of which, yellow and red are actually over here. Hunter Brand is going to come down, which is going to be a very nice Hunter Brand as a whole. But because of Arbiter's Conduit Rage, the units are still alive. But honestly, this is still a fight that we can take pretty well. So we're going to start falling back just a little bit so we can go ahead and focus on them, while dark blue and light blue will go ahead and do their push on their side of the map. And now we're going to go ahead and focus down on this Forge that's upgraded. The fact that it has that ran away is saying that it is quite confident that his teammates were going to help itself out. And I got rid of the leader and was able to teleport on time before that scatter bomb comes down. A great predictive move, and I would say predictive, but it really wasn't, just another stroke of luck. And there you have it. The enemy ends up disconnecting. It ends up being red that disconnects first, or if not, it was orange. And then the other teammates are going to go ahead and follow suit. So I know we didn't get to see much of that magnificent siege going on, but hopefully the action that I've also provided on my lane made this at least a little bit insightful and knowledge gaining nevertheless. And so with that being said, I am playing as Colony. As soon as this daily challenge moves out of the way, I would love to show the stats. I don't even think I'm going to end up showing the stats. So with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like. If not, it is all good. Enjoy the rest of your day. There you go. My teammate 22 for 33, 18 for 17 for me, wasn't that efficient, and 10 for 9 for our teammate as well, but had so much siege. And the other team just was incredibly inefficient, with 22 and 9 being the worst one for that Atriox. And so with that being said, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to give a like, as I mentioned before. Shout out to my Patreon supporters, Good Guy, Nathan Yerson, and Zach Bruno. If you want to go ahead and support this channel or my game development that I'm doing as a whole, feel free to do so. If not, no worries. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.